What's up, you guys? It's Susie from HeyGrillHey.com, and today I'm bringing you a recipe for smoked pork carnitas. Perfect for eating with tacos on top of, some nachos with some beans and rice. You guys are gonna love this one. I'm gonna show you how to get it done. First step for our carnitas is the marinade. So this is a very simple marinade: citrus, oil, salt, and we're gonna let it sit overnight. So I have an 8-pound pork butt here. I'm gonna be putting this in my brining bucket, but you can use any vessel that will hold a piece of meat this size. Smaller pork butts I've even been able to do in like a gallon zip top bag. This one just wasn't quite big enough. So we're gonna put the whole thing into our vessel for marinating. To that, I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. This is avocado oil. You can use regular vegetable oil. Kind of get that in there on all sides. Then we're gonna add in, let's do this. Okay. Then we're gonna add in a tablespoon of coarse kosher salt. To that, we're gonna squeeze in the juice of 2 limes and 2 of those small mandarin oranges, or 1 regular big-sized orange.
Big sized?
Big sized. Regular big size. Regular size?
Larger?
Large. And once all your juice is in, you can just drop the halves of your citrus in there, pop the lid on, stick this in the refrigerator for 12 hours. Usually I do this the night before I plan to smoke it, get it in the marinade, let it do its thing overnight with all of that salt and citrus, and then tomorrow morning we'll be ready to smoke. And I just flipped it over so the meat side was on the bottom, sitting against all of that citrus and salt. Lid on, to the fridge we go. We'll see you tomorrow. Day 2, our pork carnitas are out of the fridge. It's time to take it out of the marinade and season. It already smells awesome, all of that citrus and salt, and with that pork. Now we're just gonna hit it with a really delicious carnitas-inspired pork seasoning. Our pork seasoning is a homemade spice blend. We have, in this bottle that I'm about to shake up, a tablespoon of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 2 teaspoons of coarse ground black pepper, a teaspoon of chili powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, and then we have a half a teaspoon of cumin, of Mexican oregano, of cinnamon, and of ground chipotle peppers. I think I got them all.
Okay.
Take our seasoning on all sides of our pork butt. Make sure you get all the sides. And then once you get a layer on there, go ahead and press it in with your hands. It smells awesome. The chipotles in here already give it a little bit of smokiness, a little bit of heat, getting the herbiness from the oregano. And then the cinnamon is kind of like the sneaker seasoning in this pork seasoning. And it is bomb. This should be just enough to cover 1 pork butt entirely. And this is going on our preheated smoker, 225 degrees for the next 5 to 6 hours. We're looking to get our pork shoulder to an internal temperature of 165 degrees. And then we'll move on to our braising step. Our pork butt hit 165. It took about 5.5 hours. Now it's time for our braising step. I've cranked the heat on my pellet smoker to 350 degrees, or you can do this step in your oven. We're gonna top it with about a half a cup of vegetable oil. And this is going to add moisture during the braising process, but we're also going to reserve all of the liquid when this is done cooking, and the fat in here is gonna help us crisp the edges to get that classic carnitas texture. We're also gonna put in 2 bay leaves across the top, tightly wrap it with foil, and pop it back into that 350-degree smoker. That looks good. At 350 degrees, this is going to take another 2 to 3 hours. We're looking for an internal temperature on the pork shoulder of anywhere between 200 and 203 degrees Fahrenheit. You want your thermometer to slide in and out of this roast like it's softened butter. Pork's been going 350 degrees for the last 3.5, nearly 4 hours. I think we're up to temperature. It's about ready to come up. Our temperature was right at about 202 to 203 degrees, but more importantly, my thermometer probe slid in and out of that pork like it was softened butter, just what we're looking for. Now we need to let this rest at room temperature for about an hour, and then we can crisp it up and give it that classic carnitas texture. We have a beautifully rested roast. Now it is time to shred our pork and get it nice and crispy. We're just gonna break into this pork with our tongs. And you see this beautiful liquid in the bottom? That's part of the oil that we poured on top, but it's also some of the rendered fat from our pork. And we're gonna use that as the fat in our pan to crisp our carnitas. I'm gonna preheat my cast iron pan over medium-high heat. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now get yourself some of this rendered pork fat. Look at that. That is liquid gold. And this is what's going into our hot cast iron pan. Oh my goodness. Now I recommend keeping as much of your pork butt whole as you can until you're ready to shred and crisp. That makes it perfect for leftovers or if you want to use it the next day. Super easy, just reheat it in that pan, in the fat, get these crispy edges. Use it for huevos rancheros with eggs in the morning. Put it in some tortillas for tacos. These make delicious quesadillas, nachos, burritos, like anywhere you would normally use some pulled pork. This stuff is the best. I'm just gonna enjoy mine as a little street taco style with some fresh cilantro, a squeeze of lime, some fresh onion would be awesome in here. Look at that. Gosh. You get the crisp from searing in that cast iron skillet, and then all of the flavor of the smoke and that dry rub we put on there is perfectly balanced, incredibly flavorful. You guys are gonna dig this recipe. I hope you give it a try at home. If you do, take a photo, post it online, use the hashtag #HeyGirlHey. That way I can see it and cheer you on your journey to becoming a backyard barbecue hero. That's what it's all about, you guys.